All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. It's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3, OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It is 9 o'clock on Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to catch up with our guy, Nick Underhill. New Orleans Football joins us now. Nick, how we doing? How we living?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. And you can just go ahead and tell us who the starting quarterback is going to be since you've been in training camp the last couple of days. Go ahead.
Well, if you had to pick one today, I mean, I think it's like very, very easily Spencer Rattler right now. He looks a lot better so far in this camp.
Yeah.
You know, it's early. Like, there's a lot of days left. We'll see how it goes from here. But he looks like a guy that's been in the league for a year, and Chuck looks like a guy that's, you know, trying to swim his way to shore a little bit right now. I think sometimes, you know, maybe things are still happening fast for him. He's still kind of processing. Yeah, I think we see the impact a little bit of not doing any team drills at all during OTAs and minicamp. Like, at times it looks like a team lining up for the very first time with an offensive line on the field and all that stuff.
Right.
And, you know, there's some operation errors. There's false starts. There's, you know, it's just kind of sloppy right now overall. But Rattler's definitely, you know, looking better. I think part of the distance between the two is more that, like, he hasn't really gotten any punches thrown back at him yet. It's not like he's been perfect either, but I think Rattler's comfortably leading right now.
So, like, when you see Spencer out there, and we were talking about this yesterday, Nick, like, does he make plays that make you kind of think, oh, yeah, at one point we talked about him as a surefire first-round pick. Like, are those the kind of plays that you're talking about? Like, do you see those type of throws from him here in year number 2?
There's some of that. I mean, yeah. I mean, even last year when he was starting some of those games, it was like, oh, yeah, this is the guy that threw for like 483 yards in a game one time in college. Like, you know, like you see that for sure. But then there's the things where, like, he just misreads, like, the depth on a throw into the end zone and gets, like, picked off by throwing it short twice in, you know, 3 days. And, you know, there's just some throws that get missed. But there's definitely the talent there. I mean, like, he has elite arm talent. I think, like, you know, comparatively speaking to, like, all NFL quarterbacks, I think he's up there in that upper tier somewhere, if not the top tier, second tier. Like, he has really, really good arm talent. And, you know, I think it's just sometimes the processing and stuff isn't quite all the way there. And I think we still see that. I feel like it's kind of the same guy where it's, you know, one day you're like, oh my God, like he looks unbelievable. He's 10 for 10. And then the next day he comes back and he can't pick up the momentum. And that's kind of what it was last year, first half, second half of games. And, you know, it's kind of, he's seeing stuff great. And then all of a sudden, like, something just happens and it doesn't keep going. If he can build some momentum, like, any time though, like the first half of the first game he ever played, like, I was like, oh my God, they found their quarterback. And then, you know, it falls apart. And then he goes in the second half of the Washington game after Haener and almost brings them back. And that like, it's just like, if he could manage to put it all together, but like, it just hasn't been able to happen yet. But I mean, I don't think, like, just in a pure talent standpoint, like, I don't know that it's like lacking. It's just kind of like the cohesion of all that. And like the consistency, you know, isn't quite there, but I you know, there's a reality where he becomes a good player. I don't know if we're knocking on that door yet. I don't know if the other 31 teams are looking at the Saints and saying, like, oh man, I wish this guy was my starter. But, you know, there's moments there for sure.
Nick, I was going to follow up with a football question here. I got to ask, though, are you on a landline right now? Did you just hit a number with your cheek?
I did not, no.
Oh, so we heard like, you know, back in the day, like when you'd hit a button while you're on the phone, we heard that, and I was hoping so badly that you were on a landline.
Oh man.
I don't think I've had a landline since 2008. Like
that was going to be the unique part of it. I know.
By the tone of the beep, I think it was a 5. If I had to guess.
It's crazy you say that because, like, there really was a time where you could, like, hear the difference in the numbers.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. If we were for sure you said that, we all kind of like looked around when we heard the noise. Okay, so
I wish I could be that big of a hurdle where I was like, yeah, I take my Tuesday
Yeah,
morning
this
is
so
landline.
seriously.
I'm on
that
line 3 right
I
now.
want my voice to be crisp. Yeah, I would.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's so funny you say that. Like that, there's a clear difference now that training camp started because like the entire offseason, OTA's mini camp, it's like, well, these guys are both doing good things. They both look good. They're neck and neck. Like Spencer makes a play, Shuck makes a play, blah blah blah. But it's the difference between off-season practices, which is like, glorified 7-on-7s and just kind of hanging out with your buddies playing catch, right? And then you get into training camp and it's like the pressure's on. We got the pads on. Everything is hot. They're making everything hard. And that's especially the first 2 weeks of training camp. Like it is designed to make life hard on everybody. Like practices right now are harder than a game will ever be. And especially from a quarterback's perspective. So like, when you say you can tell that there's a rookie, you can tell there's a guy that's been there for a year, it's because coaches are making it hard on these guys. They're making it hard on the reads that they're making. They're getting installs and defenses thrown at them every single day. But have you seen those moments? We just asked about the moments from Rattler. Have you seen the moments from Shuck that it's like, okay, man, he's struggling like overall. Maybe not struggle is the word, but like, he's not looking as good overall. But, like, man, there's some flashes where I can see this guy has I get what they saw in drafting him in the second round.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's definitely some throws. Like, he hit one to Jawan Johnson, like a really nice read over the throws with a ton of anticipation. Kind of like, before he's coming out of the break, like, ball just delivers right in the perfect. So, like, he's hit a couple of them throws that are just like, man, this is special. Like, that's a really good moment. It's just, he looks like a guy on the fifth day at camp. And I think, when we're out here every day looking at it day by day by day, like you kind of analyze every day like it's the Super Bowl because like you've been waiting 6 months to see these guys and you're breaking down every single little thing. And, last year, I remember like it was probably practice 9, practice 10, like where we left the field and it was kind of like, is Spencer Rattler good? Like, because up until then, like you aren't really seeing it. Like, and then something just kind of clicked for him, and it was like, wait a minute, like this guy can act like he's good. But up until then, it was kind of like, Jake Hayner's better than him. They got this 5th round pick out here, a couple throws here and there, but no big deal, nothing really worth talking about. And then it changes. So by no means am I ready to close the book on him. I think there's probably going to come a moment where all of a sudden something starts to click into place and it starts to slow down, and it starts to slow down a little bit more. I think the one thing that like maybe worries me a little bit more than anything else is that sometimes in 7-on-7s, like he just has a penchant for like holding the ball and it's not coming out. And it's like, damn, like this should probably be happening at least on rhythm every single time. And it's kind of not. So I just think there's a lot of like processing going on. I think you can kind of see him thinking like, and I think in any field, like what we do, like when you're new to it, you watch somebody that's new on TV, like you can see them thinking about their words next to the guy that's been doing it for a year that he's just talking. And like, I think that's kind of what it looks like out here watching them right now is like, you just see a lot of thinking and another guy's just kind of playing. And I think at some point it's going to turn for him.
Let's talk about the coaching style. So we got a new coaching staff, but along with the quarterbacks, let's stop talking about their play. Let's talk about the coaches, like coaching style, this new staff, how Tolzien, Nussmeier, Kellen Moore, how they all are communicating with the quarterbacks. Are they all talking to them? Is Kellen kind of hands-on with the coaching aspect in between plays, in between periods? Are they yellers? Are they nice? Like what kind of like feel are you getting from this new coaching staff?
Yeah, it's like culture shock being out here, honestly, because I mean, for about the last 20 years, even though last year there was a new offensive staff, it was still coming in under the same DNA. And I mean, just everything's just weird right now. Like it was almost like there was a circadian rhythm to these practices, like where it was like, this is going to happen now. They're going to do red zone on this day. They're going to do this. And it's completely different. As far as coaching style, Kellen's around the offense quite a bit. Not a lot of yelling. I don't even know that I've heard a voice raised anywhere yet, but you see the corrections happening immediately in real time. Somebody screws up, they're coming off the field. Like there's a consequence for having, a false start, lining up wrong, whatever it is. And I like seeing that. And it's kind of wild to say this, but like the last 3 years, we didn't see stuff like that happening. We didn't see the lapse happening after somebody jumped off sides. I don't even know that we saw corrections happening when there was like a false start on offense. We heard players talking about how they didn't correct those things after the fact, and that was a frustrating thing for them. So, like, even seeing something like that, just basic, rudimentary, fundamental responsibility, consequence, all that is great to see. On a more macro level, the schedule is kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Like, they don't practice 5 days in a row. Like, they go 2 day off, 2 day off, 2 day off, or like 2 special teams walk through 2. That's way different. They practiced the last 2 days. Yesterday's a special teams walkthrough/install. So they're going to be on the field for about 45 minutes today, only the guys that are on special teams, and then back at it tomorrow. We got to day 5 of camp and just saw the first injury happen. So at least on that level, it's working. I don't know, I guess we'll see overall what the balance is on maybe, some lost days of work versus, going full bore 5 days in a row. I think it's one of those things where if they win 10 games, it's brilliant. And if they win 5, everyone's like, man, they probably should have practiced a little bit more. It's, but I think not having guys popping hamstrings is probably overall a good thing. So that's been way, way different. But everything just feels completely different. Everything's incredibly thought out and planned. And, it just kind of maybe feels a little bit like a younger, newer way of thinking, whereas, everything was kind of 80s Parcells-ish around here for a while, and there's nothing wrong with that. It works, but it's just a completely different way of looking at things. I think everything's very data-driven, studied, analyzed, thought out, planned, just even thinking about, little stuff like we're going to do red zone on day 2 because we went full field the day before because we've studied that if you exert your muscles this much and you're running straight line, like these are when injuries occur. So we're just going to cut down the field so nobody can run 40 yards at a time. Like that's kind of, it's next level, like thinking. If they're thinking about everything like that, it at least gives you a little bit of hope that they're going to figure this thing out. I don't have high hopes for, the win total in year 1, but I do have high hopes for the process and how they're doing things right now.
Catching up with the guy, Nick Underhill, talking New Orleans Saints here on OTB. Nick, obviously you've heard about the ESPN article that the Saints got the 32nd ranked roster in the NFL. We all know there's 32 teams. They were dead last. When you're watching that team, and you've watched the Saints for a couple of years, like, do you think that is factual? They have the worst roster in the NFL?
I mean, I'm not seeing the other 31, so like I don't know if they're worse than the Browns or the Titans or whatever. I know they definitely look worse than they did, last year. You get into a training camp and Derek Carr's not facing a pass rush. He looks amazing. Like he's always looked great when things are perfect. It's things get messy. He doesn't look as good, but definitely. Look, if I was somebody sitting up in Bristol, Connecticut, and I was looking at all 32 teams, and there's one team that does not have a single quarterback win on their roster. Well, I guess they got a few, but he's a tight end now. But if you have a guy that's never won a game, I don't know how you rank him above anybody else. Like, is Spencer Rattler / Tyler Shuck better than what the Browns have at quarterback? Could it be better than, Anthony Richardson? Could it be? Yeah, sure. But like, I get it from that point. I don't know if they're going to be the worst team in the league, but I don't know that, I'm looking at them to contend in the NFC South either. So, I don't know. I think right now where it sits, like it's probably not looking extremely promising for a 25 run. I think there's a couple bright spots. There's a couple things I feel better about right now. I don't think Trevor Penning's going to be a disaster. Kelvin Banks has been impressive. I think Chase Young looks better and just sounds and feels more confident. Fuaga has been a little up and down. I think you see that transition happening back, but he's looked okay. There's a few things that I think that you feel positive about. Shaheed has looked amazing out here. So I think this season's more about finding guys that I think Kool-Aid's looked pretty good too. I think this season's really more about finding guys you're building around. And if you feel positive about some pieces going into the future and you happen to be drafting first or second, that'd be amazing. Now, you could be drafting first or second and feel terrible about your team, and that would not be as good. But, like, look at the Patriots. Like, they probably had, they absolutely had one of the worst teams in the league last year, but I think their optimism level is incredibly high right now. And if you can leave that season feeling that way about this team, like, I don't know, who cares? But, I really think this season's about finding just signs of hope, pieces to build around, building blocks. If your offensive line has that, like, real identity and you're picking second or third, like, I would actually like that outcome for the Saints.
All right, Nick. So let's get you started getting a little bit more positive there at the end, but like, like the real Wolf of Wall Street, he has like the saying like, "Sell me this pencil." Like, I want Nick Underhill to sell me the Saints right now in 2025. Paint something positive.
All right. I mean, I can't tell you to write a sentence, but hey, like, do you have anybody standing in front of you right now?
Yep.
No, you do. I mean, do you have an outfit like I think they can block. Like, tell Sharp to attack you. You don't got no one to jump in front of you. You got a fullback back there, but he's not in his prime anymore, so he's not gonna pick up the blitz. But I think they have a good line, and I think if you have that and you can build around that, I think the future's okay. Maybe you have the quarterback, maybe you don't. Your running back's about to be 30. Like, that's not long term, but I think if you have that line, I think you have something. And I think Banks is going to be good. We know Fuaga's at least like a good starter. The ceiling might be higher on him. Penning looked like an absolute, like the very first time they did one-on-ones last year, like I was sitting there, I'm like, they cannot play this guy. And obviously they got into games and he looked okay and they had a plan for him. Him doing like one-on-ones at guard, he won some reps. Like he looked okay. I didn't walk away from it feeling bad about him. We've seen him get out in space and do great stuff in the run game. It's padless, but like just seeing him down the field as a force, like I think he could be an elite run blocker. So if your line is good, I'm okay with anything else being terrible because I think you have an identity and you have high investment pieces yielding a real return, and you can build around that. And if you got to go find another quarterback, well, he's starting out with good protection, and you're going to be able to accentuate his positives and put him in a position to succeed. So, I feel confident about that line right now. I mean, we've only seen one padded practice. I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit, but I mean, man, did you see Kelvin Banks just pancake Chris Rumph yesterday? Like the clip that was out there, it was crazy, and he looks good. So I feel good about that. I think there's a lot of questions everywhere else, but I think there's real building blocks on that offensive line.
All right, last one, Nick, before we let you go, because I agree that I'm intrigued by the offensive line. Like, what about some of the other players that we've been waiting to see, like what kind of step they can take? Your Kendre Millers, your Brian Brzee, your Kool-Aid McKinstry, like of that group, Isaiah Foskey maybe even, right? I mean, you couldn't find him, as Dev would say, with a search warrant throughout his career so far. But, like, what have you seen from those players? Like, can you count on some of those draft choices that you've had? Because you're drafting the first, second, third round. You're expected to be a starter. What have you seen from that group?
I feel like we've seen some good plays from Kool-Aid. Hasn't been challenged a ton, but he's shown up a few times. He's flashed. I like some of the stuff he does just as far as like attitude-wise too. Like I think he's bringing some of the energy back to the field. I think they need that big time on defense. Like when a running back, they'll get tagged down and they'll try to continue running to the end zone. Like Kool-Aid's the guy that chases them down and punches the ball out. And I think they need some of that energy on their defense, and he's bringing it. Brzee's looked okay. Like I think I want to believe we've seen some steps forward in the run game. I've seen him stop a couple runs a few times. They have been against Penning, and I don't know what the calculus there is of is it Brzee getting better? Is it Penning still figuring things out? Is it a little bit of both? So we'll kind of see how that comes. But I think he's a guy that is really interesting though, because like if he does take the next step there, like he could potentially become another one of those like huge building blocks, and he probably doesn't get talked enough. Like 7.5 sacks for a defensive interior player is a crazy number. Like if the run game just gets to like okay,
right?
I think you have a guy that you can build around it at that position, and I like how they're using them, as a 3-4 end, like kind of getting him in some of those like more favorable matchups where he can use some of his strength. Like I think it shows up a little bit. The other guy that we haven't mentioned at all, and he's not a young draft pick guy, but Godshaw is just that, like he is incredibly strong. Like he just engulfs people and just eats them up on that line. And I think that's going to allow your linebackers to flow and make plays. Danny Stutzman has been a beneficiary of some of that, but like even independently, the way he sees the field and like reads and reacts and attacks, and then he's looked good in space too. He had a pick in one of the practices. He's gotten down the field in coverage a few times. I'm like really encouraged about him. I don't know how he gets on the field right away, but he's quickly like starting to make a case for like you kind of got to find a way to play him a little bit. So he could be a building block coming behind DeMario too. So there's some glimmers of hope here. I think Alante has looked really good in this scheme too, but he's in the contract year. And if I were him, I'd probably bet on myself, play the season out, and try to see what the market looks like. So I don't know like how that factors in long term, but I think it's agreeing with him quite a bit. Like they're getting him in that dynamic role out of the slot, blitzing a lot. Like he looks good. He's flashing every day.
All right, there he is, our guy, Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football. Nick, I will be in Metairie tomorrow. Hopefully I can run into you, say hello. Looking forward to that, and we always appreciate the time, sir. Yeah,
bring a sweat towel, man. It's brutal out here.
Oh, love to hear that. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Got me excited.
Yep.
Oh, man, Nick is the best, truly. I mean, they're every day, boots on the ground. Great reporting as always. And, I'm going to take some of that My High. No, I need multiple. Actually, because I have I usually keep 5 in my back. Oh, 1, thank you. You're too kind. I usually put 5 in my backpack. Oh, that's the first one you've ever given me. 5 in my backpack. But, at SEC Media Days, I was doing better marketing than you were. Because I was passing it out to people. Yep. I actually got a picture of the A&M linebacker.
I know you did.
So I'm
a big fan.
Basically a better marketing person for My High than you are.
Oh, my defense. They did go last.
You give me 1. My High. Not even a 0, which is my favorite. You don't
got
even
a
know
hat
that.
too, buddy.
I stole the hat.
So I think
I didn't
that
even ask.
I should be hired for My High too, because I was sitting at lunch with some coworkers yesterday, and one of them was like, "Oh, I went and I edged my yard or whatever, and I came inside and I needed a liquid IV or something." And I was like, no, you don't need a liquid IV. You need My High. I was like, I've tried every electrolyte mix drink in the market. Liquid IV is all sugar. Element, way too much sodium in it.
Trash.
I was like, you need My High. And he was like, well, where can I find it? I'm serious. This is a real conversation I had yesterday. I was like, you can find it at Rouse's or on Amazon. I was like, also, you can go to myhigh.com and you can subscribe and they'll send you some every month.
That's right. There you go. You
I
got
was
it all
literally
down.
sales
Look at
pitching
you.
My High to these people.
Let's go. Alondra, let's go. Yeah. People always say, where can you get it?
Me.
Well, it's the internet.
Yeah.
That's where you get everything.
Right.
Or Rouse's. Go check it out.
They even got the ice
Hey.
pops.
Don't drink that all at one time, bud.
1. I'm going down to the Devil's Lair for training camp, and this SOB
Saints.
gives me 1.
Saints are hydrated.
Don't drink it all in one place.
Yeah.
Don't drink it all in one place.
bum.
That's exactly right. Hey,
I had to rip open a pack yesterday.
play your cards right, you might get another one.
I'm going to steal some after the show, actually.
Yeah, you're a bum.
This box is a lot emptier than it used to be.
Because we all steal,
I've
because you don't
taken
give us
some.
any.
You
I've
absolutely
taken
should.
4 from there.
You
I've taken
absolutely should.
more than 4.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
need
take
to bring a
more
bunch
after
more.
You should.
Y'all should.
But
Anyway.
can I make a request?
Yeah.
The 0.
You want a 0?
Yeah.
The 0.
The Iceberry. Is it
Zero's
Iceberry
good.
Blast or something like that?
All right, I'll bring a carton.
Yeah. That's my favorite one.
It's solid. Strong to quite strong. Oh, and it's actually a drink mix that's actually a liquid.
It's actually liquid. I said that too. I was like, and it's actually a liquid.
It's false
I don't even
advertisement, I
say
feel like.
liquid blank blank out loud because I'm so loyal to this guy, and he gives me 1.
You're right. My bad. I said two of them.
Yeah.
I said, you got a shot at another.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right, we'll take a break. We got some reaction to what Nick said. Alondra's got a great story. If you play for the Guardians and you put a couple doll hairs down on yourself or bet against you, it's probably not a great idea. We've got all that coming your way when we jump back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, go to gcopnet.com. That is Gulf Coast Office Products. They have so many different things they can help you out with. And, in your industry, law firm, engineering firm, schools, universities, banks, hospitals, certainly, we are talking to you. If you have multiple printers, all going to be on that same network, and also one bill, not 85 bills, one bill. They combine everything, and the customer service that you get. Because look, they're a big business. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Lafayette, but you get these small shop, mom and pop kind of customer service. right? So it's the best of both worlds. Like when you call them, you're getting a human being. You're not getting a robot. Go to the website today, gcopnet.com.
Yeah, they are the undisputed leader in Louisiana for copiers or printers. So they are the leading source for multifunction office machines that copy, scan, print, fax, move documents, whatever it is, gcopnet.com.
Here's a little story I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Been had a little horsey named Paul Revere. Just me and my horsey and a quart of beer. Riding across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff splashes on my tail cause I'm in demand. One lonely beastie I be. All by myself without nobody. The sun is beating down on my baseball hat. The air is getting hot, the beer is getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name is MCA. I said howdy, he said hi.
All right, welcome back in OTV 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Any thoughts on anything that Nick Underhill said? It did feel like he was pretty adamant to me that Spencer Rattler is fully in the lead in the quarterback competition. I know a lot of people are like, well, you drafted Tyler Shuck in the second round. You gave him guaranteed money. He's going to be the guy. They love Spencer Rattler. Like that's why we weren't sure if they were going to draft a quarterback. And again, like when you draft a second round player, yeah, for sure, you want him to be a starter. But if the fifth round pick is holding him off, and the fifth round pick, who once in his career was talked about to be maybe a first round pick, maybe the first quarterback off the board, like you just want one of the guys to work out. Like I would not get hung up on the fact that the second round pick's not playing. I think you just need one of the guys to go win the job, and because he played so well is why he won the job, not because he's the best of the bad options.
I mean, I think now 5 days into camp, like the first week of camp is hard. It's hard to look good. It's hard to execute. It's hard to like the fine motor skill stuff. So passing, catching, kicking, all that stuff. It's hard to execute that on the first week of practice. It just is for anybody. I mean, I saw first day or two of training camp with the Patriots, Tom Brady throw a hitch in a cover two. Like, I mean, it's just hard. Okay. Yeah. So there's going to be moments and flashes, and those are the things you have to look, and you have to watch to see if people are making the same mistake twice. That's a big thing. You don't want to be, coaches don't want to have to spend too much time coaching the same thing over and over and over again. But I mean, I would say it's kind of like so far from what we've heard, we talked to Devin Snow yesterday, said the same thing. Nick said the same thing. Like they said, it's not clear, but what is not great is that they're like they both kind of let on like it's kind of like mid right now, to use Devin's words yesterday. And Nick was, I think, trying to be positive. He's trying to get there. Nick kind of sounded sad though. I'm not gonna lie, sounded a little sad on that phone call. But that's first training camp. I mean, even people that are covering the Saints get tired and hot and sweaty, and it's day 5. It's in a grind right now. You got to get over the hump of, what would you say? After the first week and a half is over, you're kind of over the hump.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
like
definitely the first
days.
2 weeks. Definitely the first 2 weeks, because then you start focusing a little bit more on the first preseason game. But that first week, man, it's a booty kicker for sure.
I did get excited hearing him talk about the offensive line, though, because if you are a new quarterback, a young quarterback, and you got the bomb squad in front of you, that is the worst case scenario. And we've seen Spencer Rattler with the bomb squad in front of him at South Carolina. Now, he still made a lot of plays, and I give him a lot of credit for that year, but there was a lot of times he would get the ball and immediately have pressure.
Yep.
And he still found a way. Again, like they had some big wins that year. I believe they beat, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Clemson that year, right?
North Carolina was that opening game.
Right?
And if you remember, he got sacked, I think, 7 times in that game, but the final box score, he was 30 of 37.
Yeah.
So, he was still really efficient, to your point. And, I mean, we talked about it the other day. 4 first-round picks and a second-round pick. So, offensive line better be good.
Yeah, they better be.
True.
Right? Yeah.
I get it.
That better be your answer when I tell you to sell me a pencil. Yeah, they beat, like you said, Clemson. I remember that one. I won a few shekels on that one.
They did. I mean, he had some good times. And again, behind a really bad offensive line. So, to hear that it is solidified, that Trevor Penning's looking better at guard, gets you excited. as much as you're going to get excited about a roster that people think is 32nd in the NFL. Like, he has to have that. Like, two things whoever it is has to have. I would say three, but my two main ones, protection and staying healthy at receiver.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said,
because the backups at receiver, like Dev said yesterday, like, that ain't what you want. We saw that last year.
Who was he talking about at 4?
Dante Pettis. All right. You got to have Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and Brandon Cooks out there. And if you don't, it's going to be troublesome. So those are my two things.
Like, honestly, it's the NFL. It's a 17-game season. Like, odds are you're not going to have all three of those guys for 17 weeks. So somebody's got to step up. I mean, those guys, those three, you have to rely on them. You have to rely on them being healthy for the majority. But somebody has got to step up. Or they got to build the offense around let the tight ends. You got to highlight tight ends. You got to highlight your running backs. I mean, there's ways to do it. And I do trust Kellen Moore in his offensive creativity. Like, he has been around. He's been around a really good offensive minds. He was a good quarterback. I trust his ability to, I mean, as long as you don't, like, deal him, like, blow after blow after blow with injury. Like, that's part of the NFL. It's part of why offensive coordinators are good, because things do happen. You don't have the same roster week in, week out because of injuries. And even if a guy's not injured, he might be at 90%, 85, 80, 75%, and you have to work around it. But the good ones do it. But what the most positive thing, besides the phone number he was dialing with his cheek, clearly.
Multiple times.
Like, based on the.
He was trolling us. He was on a landline.
For sure. Based on what the chat was guessing the phone number was, he dialed 579-4135.
When you said a 5, like, that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I was like, absolutely. That was a 5.
100%.
No doubt hit a 5.
He hit another one. The chat was like, yeah, that was a 7. The next one, 9. So 579-4135.
Right. Yeah. We'll get an area code for you.
Should we call it?
225 or 504, since he's in New Orleans. Both? Cold call?
Cold call action.
All right. Fair enough. All right. We'll step away. When we come back, there is a crazy kind of story coming out of Major League Baseball. It involves gambling. It involves the artist formerly known as the Indians, and we'll break it all down. We'll throw it to Alondra, our baseball expert here on the show. More OTB when we jump back.
Off the bench.
All right, go to boudreauxelectrical.com. Thank God we had a generator here yesterday because it was great weather.
Jeez.
Power just goes out right in the middle of the show, right? But got back on, got on air eventually. And that's what you can have, is that ultimate peace of mind that even if it's not a storm, even if it's just a rolling blackout, whatever it might be, you're going to be okay because you got a whole home generator. And so right now, storm season is about to be upon us, and the Gulf of America is heating up. But if you have that whole home generator, right, you don't have anything to worry about. Your food's going to be okay. Your AC is going to be on. You're going to have entertainment for the kids. You're going to have that power in your home. boudreauxelectrical.com.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what's happening right now. The Gulf's about to heat up. The hurricane season is upon us. So get that peace of mind. Be the envy of the neighborhood when the lights go out. Be the house with the lights on. Go to their website. On their homepage, you can see testimonials. You can see everything that they do. But get that generator. boudreauxelectrical.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And let's throw it now to our girl Alondra. Got a great story out of the MLB.
Yeah, they got some juicy stuff going on in the MLB right now. So aside from the fact that Bryce Harper basically cussed out Rob Manfred in the locker room for bringing up a salary cap, which, I don't know, we can go into salary cap at another time. But, like, I just don't think that you should do a salary cap or a cap without a floor. Like, you need, it's just going to end up being the same thing. If you have a salary cap, the people that aren't spending money still are going to spend, like, the minimum amount of money.
Right.
But anyways, Emmanuel Clase, He is on leave amid a gambling probe. So
great pitcher, incredible reliever.
Yes.
Had a lot of big years.
Yeah.
I mean, you said he won the award for best reliever.
Yeah, the Mo Rivera Award. And last season, in 74 and a third innings, he threw a .61 ERA.
That doesn't suck.
That's pretty good, right?
That's, I mean, sub-zero. Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. This season, in 47 and a third innings, Class A has 3.23 ERA and has already allowed more hits this year than last year. So he has 46 hits on the season now and 39 last year. So he's on leave. So is Luis Ortiz, a right-handed pitcher for the Guardians as well. So sportsbooks and gambling operators were alerted after a spike in Ortiz's first pitch of the bottom of the second inning against the Mariners on June 15th, and then again in the top of the third against the Cardinals on June 27th. So people were placing bets that the first pitch was going to be a ball or a hit batsman.
Right.
And they would just waste the pitch. Like Luis Ortiz was doing the same thing, and that's how he got caught. The same thing is happening with Emmanuel Clase. So some people broke it down. In 2024, the first pitch of the ninth inning for Emmanuel being a waste pitch, the percentage was 4.5%. Every other pitch is 4.4%. So the amount of times that he would go up there and throw a ball for the first pitch of the ninth inning was 4.5%. This season, first pitch of the ninth inning being a waste pitch, 17.5%. There's videos, I don't know, Taylor's pulled one up. Somebody like compiled
And
all
then
of them into one.
him reacting. I don't know if you saw it first. I'm like, shoot.
Dang it.
Overactor.
Every
Oh my
time.
God.
So he's
dude,
come into the
on,
game at the
man.
beginning of the ninth inning 40 times this season.
Yeah.
And again, 17.5% of the time, he's throwing a waste pitch.
Like,
And people are placing bets on a first pitch ball or
Right.
hits
yeah.
batsman.
What, like, guys,
That's just a-
y'all are millionaires. Stop doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to take your millions away. Like, you're not going to win. Like, you're never going to trick Vegas.
No.
You're never going to win.
Yeah.
They've been doing this for a long time.
That
We were talking about this.
Unless
Like, what are we doing?
you're Shohei or
That still blows my mind.
Emmanuel needs to get an interpretator to throw under the bus.
Like, Shohei got away with it. Maybe, whatever he did or didn't do, like, he's Shohei Ohtani, okay? He's
Right.
one of one. Like, if he's going to get away with it.
And
Like, you're not going to get, like, they caught him.
Yeah.
He got caught.
right.
Like, whatever they were doing.
You're
but it was
seeing a
like,
lot
he was
of the-
Shohei Ohtani. So,
Yeah.
like, it didn't really matter.
You're seeing a
They
lot
are
of the
going to get you every time.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
gambling stuff like go around the NBA. Like, who was it? Jonte Porter got banned for life
Yeah.
last year. We were talking earlier, like, there's some about Terry Rozier. And, like, Terry Rozier signed, like, a $60 million contract with the Charlotte Hornets.
What do we do?
There's something in on him right now that it was actually in New Orleans and Biloxi. Casinos down there had, like, $10,000 bets on, like, all of his unders. And there were multiple games where, like, he would pull up with an injury 5 minutes in. And he'd go sit down. It was like 13,000 here, 10,000 here. I'm like, my guy, you probably made 20 grand on that bet. You signed a $50 million contract. Like, it's not even worth it to you. That's pennies to you. So, like, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Can I, ask I need to ask questions here. Like, playing devil's advocate.
No.
What if bettors are just like writing a hand that he's just not as accurate as he was?
I mean,
He's going
he
from
was
4 to
pretty
17.
damn accurate.
You see some of those pitches, they were
before.
20 feet.
Yeah, but like
I mean,
17%.
that's a pretty big jump.
4% to
13%.
17?
but
That's a 13%
but
jump.
17% is not enough to
But
like.
from 4 to 17 is big.
You got to look
4
at
to
the
17.
context.
Okay, but like, so 83% of the time people are losing their bets?
Yeah.
Why is
Well,
that?
who's to say they're
Like,
betting
why
on
is that?
80%
Yeah,
of
but that's the
time,
thing,
though?
it's like-
you think he's texting people
it-
before the game? Like,
He
hey,
might
this is the
be.
game. Just this game.
Yes.
You could pull a
I mean, it's a
Brad
little questionable.
Bohannon.
I was going to say,
Okay,
that's
that
what I was going
fake
to bring
shoot
up.
that he threw
is
after that
like,
first one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, too, is that, I mean, we got Luke Holman out of it, so I'm not complaining, but Brad Bohannon was literally betting
That's
against
true.
his own players. And
I'm not putting it past anybody.
No.
I'm just saying 17% first pitch balls in the ninth inning.
when you went from
I'm
4
not
to
taking
17.
those odds as a bettor.
Exactly. You're not taking those odds as a better unless you know that he's going to go up there and waste the pitch.
Right. So I don't think it's he does it 17% of the time. I think people know when that 17% is going to be.
Yeah.
Is what we're
last
saying.
highlight, it landed like in between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
Right. Like that's not like a wild
Like,
pitch.
if you're
That's
gonna
not even
fake it, you're
close.
not gonna throw it that bad.
That's like the old celebrity trying to throw out a first pitch.
And again,
Look, you're talking about this one right here.
This guy won the reliever of the year award.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
If he's let him throw a ball. Is he gonna get the guy out?
I think if
again,
he's
you go
on
from-
leave right now, there's where there's smoke, there's fire.
again,
paid
Luis
leave.
Ortiz is doing the same thing, and he's also on leave, but they have like proof that he didn't. They're just kind of looking into Emmanuel Clase right
MLB
now.
is so overly sensitive to everything, which they should be. There's gambling. They're oversensitive in the gambling stuff. They're overly sensitive in like supplements that they take and all that. Just rightfully so for everything.
Yeah.
So he's on paid leave, which tells you something. They're paying him to not play because
Is that what paid leave means?
Yeah.
Non-disciplinary paid
On
leave.
discipline, yeah.
All right.
So they're saying, he is
We
not
better
guilty
not.
until it's proven
In
otherwise.
like professional sports,
a
we
lawyer.
better not get Keyshawn bootied because
Yeah.
wasn't it his fault that we can't do prop bets
In Louisiana,
anymore?
yeah.
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 What happened? What did he do?
He was betting on himself too.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
bet on
think bet the
yourself. They
over,
say it all the time.
Yeah.
Now,
You bet on yourself all the
in
time.
fairness,
Yeah.
he was
You literally
taking
do.
the
He was
over.
taking the over.
that is fair.
So he was
Yeah.
betting on himself,
Yeah.
not against himself.
Nothing
but
wrong
still.
with that.
Yeah. Just have a lot
Hey,
of confidence.
do we know how much money has been placed on these ball bets?
No.
Because
Probably very
Emmanuel
insignificant.
Clase, his contract's $20 million.
All right. Yeah.
So like he doesn't need the money.
Yeah. That's great.
I bet we could find that out because they said there was a spike. Vegas is going to tell you like, what the spike was.
The
right?
articles that I've read and like everything that I've looked at hasn't given
$1 amount.
a dollar amount, but I'm sure it'll come out eventually.
Right.
for
It's,
sure.
I
it's
mean, like
probably
Shohei's,
30 grand.
Shohei's like entire bank account statements came out.
I know. Like, I was like, whoa. How do you get that info that quick? Like, that's personal.
I don't know about y'all, but the platform I use caps my prop bets. So like I can only bet probably like
I don't do a lot of
$50
prop.
or
I don't
100
really, prop bets have
$100.
never been my thing. I'm more mid-major college basketball kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Right.
obviously.
I love
and
a
second
prop.
time
Australian
second
chariot
time
races.
touchdown score.
Oh, I love that as well.
I love a prop
If
fight bet.
I love a good second. Yeah.
I think this
prop
was
bets, yeah,
Yeah.
that-
I
you
think
get some
this
good
was
juice.
2
Yeah.
football seasons ago. It was Cade Otton.
Yeah.
I remember this vividly. Jake sends us a text like, I don't know who the Bucks was playing. Doesn't matter.
Cowboys.
Was it
I
the
think.
Cowboys?
I think it was
Okay.
the Cowboys.
And like Jake's like celebrating the touchdown. Yeah, that's what it was. Because I'm like, okay, Jake's just rubbing it in my face.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Who cares? He's like, I bet Cade Otton second touchdown scored in the game, and he did.
Because he scored the
like,
first
second
one.
touchdown.
Like, they were feeding the guy. And, like, his second touchdown odds were, like, plus 2,500
Right.
or something crazy.
I'm like, what
$25 on
degenerate
that.
why not?
bets second time touchdown?
The guy
I mean,
who
that's
wins.
just
guy who wins.
Guy who
Guy who's
wins.
got inside information.
Yeah, on Kate Otten. All right, let's take a break.
I got a tease for this next segment.
Nice. Well, we have Aston
Hey,
Finch.
it's gonna be like
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Nice job, Alondra. Well done there. Let's take a break. More
It's gonna be a
FTB.
great segment. There's your tease.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552. That is the 24/7 emergency service number. Now, not only in emergencies, like we want to make sure we get that out there, and not only in Central either, like the greater Baton Rouge area, they can do whatever you need them to do. If it is an emergency, if it is a remodel, and speaking of remodels, your home, your business, they can do it both. If you want to go tankless, never run out of hot water ever again. So you get home late from the ball field, from dance, whatever, you got to shower, you got to do the laundry, you got to do the dishes, whatever. Like, you can do all of that at the same time because you're never going to run out of hot water. Go to the website today, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, they can literally do everything that you need in your house, your home, your business, whatever it is. They've done it for us. They emergency service at our house when we need them, also at our factory, everything from a commercial side. They can do it. Give them a call today. Go visit their website, centralplumbing.org.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
Well, there's cooking with me. She said she's new in town.
right, welcome back in OTB 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. I want to remind you about our friends over at Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go to the website today, gotommies.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommys with a Y.com. Literally the best windows in Baton Rouge, and that's not just us saying that, that's the Advocate as well. Gotommies.com. All right, let's see here. Ask the Bench watched Top Gun Maverick the other day. What would be your call sign if you were a fighter pilot? Let's go around the room. I love this, actually. Well done. Great question. Easy.
Man, I'm a deep ball.
What?
Deep ball.
Deep ball?
Yep.
I understand
my
that,
aims-
but
I
some
don't
people
know.
watching the movie might be
Yeah.
like,
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Deep ball. All right, Alondra.
I don't know.
All right, Tay, we'll come back.
I told you that my old coach used to call me Snakes. I'll go with that.
Snake?
Yeah, why not?
Like Home Alone?
All
I
right.
don't know. It has to be something Mexican.
Mine would be Low Man.
Low man.
Yeah.
That's good.
The men's cool.
Low Man would be mine.
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Charlie.
You've got 30 seconds. All pressure, all eyes on you. It's a great question. Oh, Meathead would be another one, too, Bilbo. Meathead or Low Man? You pick.
I really don't know.
Lil Sog?
Little Sog.
Lil
That's
Sog.
easy. He said Little
Great.
Sog.
Little Sog.
Let's go, Lil Sog.
Bro.
Deep ball. You slappy.
It's my Ames
All right.
screen name. I told you that.
We love you. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, the same place. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day.
Off the bench.
All right, go to KTOZBlinds.com. KTOZ Blinds. I just noticed you got a fresh cut, Bo. You took your hat off. I'm seeing a little delay here. A little fresh cut. Did you do it
Yeah.
yourself?
Dude, yeah, absolutely. For years and years and years. Did number one all the way around.
All right, well done. Also, speaking of well done, they're going to do a well done job if you have K to Z out at your home. Brandon Barton and the team, they're going to know your space better than you. They're going to know it better than you in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter if you live there 5 years, 15 years. I lived in my house for 5 years. They came in and they knew it better than I did. They gave me exactly what I needed. They're going to do that every single time. KTOZBlinds.com.
Yeah, window coverings inside your house. They can do it for literally any budget. Just call them, talk to them, let them walk around and design something for you. And it'll look good and it'll make your house more energy efficient. So K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. Let them help you, help your house, make it look good, energy efficient. KTOZBlinds.com.